Welcome to the Stuff and Things Podcast, your home for all stuff related to your favorite things in entertainment. Now, here are your hosts.
Hello everybody and welcome to a new episode of the Stuff and Things Podcast. It's Monday and we are talking today the Book of Boba Fett from the Star Wars universe. I am Sam. Joining me to discuss the show, it's Stefan.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, good man. Yeah, pretty good. The
Star Wars universe is back.
Yes, it's a new show for us. It's quite funny because obviously we did the Mandalorian shows. Absolutely loved that. The Mandalorian is phenomenal. And one of the things I've learned through reading up about this is these are the same people behind the Mandalorian have now made this. And it was originally intended that the Mandalorian story was just going to be 2 seasons. And that's why they did all of the chapters. And to be honest with you, it does tell a complete story. Finding Grogu, looking after Grogu, losing Grogu, getting Grogu back, and then handing Grogu to the Jedi. It does tell a complete story. So the idea always was, apparently, that the Mandalorian was 2 seasons, and then the idea was they'd then tell more stories, and the next one was the Book of Boba Fett. So again, this is why this is chapters.
Yes.
So the Mandalorian was a book, this is the new book, the Book of Boba Fett.
Yep.
Obviously, the success of the Mandalorian, I think, far exceeded their wildest expectations. I think they kind of had I think this is going to be good. I think this is going to be good, and I think we're going to be able to make more, and this is our plan to make more. I don't think they quite envisioned that by the end of Season 2 of The Mandalorian, Disney or Lucasfilm would basically go, what do you want to make? Here's the money.
Yeah, I mean, the Grogu thing as well, that is now like an absolute cult phenomenon.
Yeah.
Like, you just have to go on to you go on to the Disney store, .co.uk for us.com over there, and it's all just, there's Grogu everywhere.
Yeah, I had a Grogu on my Christmas tree this year.
Yes, we both had a Grogu.
Yeah,
and we both had a Mando on his speeder bike.
We did. It had to be done. Yeah,
we are geeks. Yes.
Yeah, nerds.
And my Christmas presents to you were very heavily Grogu themed. Yeah, there was a theme here.
Definitely a theme. I love Grogu.
Did you manage to keep any, or did your daughter manage to steal them all?
What the Grogu calendar?
Yeah.
No, I've managed to keep it. It's now my in my office calendar for the year coming up.
There we go.
So the thing about this, so that was kind of interesting. But the Book of Boba Fett, therefore, is in the Mandalorian's usual place, which is the December kind of launch.
Yes.
So December 21 and into January 22, like we are now. It's episodic, 1 episode a week every Wednesday. We're talking about episode 1 today, which is chapter 1, and the title of the episode
will be featured on our teacher soon. It's A Stranger in a Strange Land.
Yes, sir. Chapter 1, Stranger in a Strange Land. Overall then, just talking about the episode, what do you think?
So, as I said to you in messages, it wasn't what I expected.
Yeah.
I expected it basically just to start from where the end credit scene was and just go on, which it does.
I was going to say it kind of does.
It kind of does. Yeah. I didn't expect as much of the flashback stuff.
Yeah.
Yet at the same time, completely. I've now watched the episode twice.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
First time I watched it, I was kind of like, oh no, this is just talking about the past. I wanted what's going on now. I wanted more future stuff. Second time I watched it, I was like, actually, okay, what they've done is they've pretty much covered that entire gap between Return of the Jedi and The Mandalorian appearing.
Yeah,
they've managed to cover a big chunk of that very quickly.
Yeah. I think we might still get little snippets.
I feel like that's going to be a thing going through, especially like this whole he's having his dreams again. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, when he's in that healing chamber, it's quite a clever way of showing it, and also it's quite a clever way of them dealing with the severe sunburn he had. Which obviously he was majorly scarred in Mandalorian because of that. But by doing that, they've just saved this guy 2 hours in makeup every day.
Haven't they just? And wow, I mean, we've worked out Tatooine is not a place to go sunbathing.
No, you're going to have to wear some serious sunblock factor 5 million, I think.
Yeah,
Tatooine.
wow.
But, so, you're right, it does, the episode kind of divides itself into two stories. One is catching up with Boba Fett directly following him taking over. I mean, I'm still calling it Jabba's palace. We're going to forget that guy was in between Fofar Tuna or whatever his name was. We're just going to say, no, Jabba's palace.
They mentioned that. They mentioned, like, the last guy ran it like this. And I'm like, who the hell was the last guy? It was Jabba. Oh, no, wait, Jabba's been dead for a long time.
Yeah, for quite a while now.
Oh, yeah.
But the funny thing is, we do flash back then to Return of the Jedi. I want to ask you a question, because I don't know if I'm just seeing this because I want to see it. But there's a scene where he's in the Sarlacc pit, he's in the Sarlacc stomach, he manages to fight his way out, he punches up through the sand, and as he comes up, he looks up to the sun. Is that the Millennium Falcon flying away?
I'm not sure.
Now, everybody who's watched this now is possibly doing the same thing as you, which is there something? To me, it's like a hazy image of him looking up, the sun's beaming down, and clearly something moves in front of the sun. And I'm
just reloading it up on my phone, and I'm going to tell you in a moment.
I don't know. I can't make my mind up. I'm sort of like, am I seeing that because I want to see it? Does that make sense? Like,
there's a high chance of that, but
yeah, there is a very high chance. Well, you look at that whilst I just continue to say he is in a bad way. Like he was down in that thing being digested, the acids and everything. So when he's managed to fight his way up to the surface, he's clearly done in, knackered, and he just kind of collapses on the surface.
He does.
And then we have the Jawas.
No, I've just watched it.
Yeah.
I don't see anything fly in front of the suns there.
No.
3 minutes in, for anyone else that wants to check it, 3 minutes in, I just see his helmet looking up and him seeing the suns.
Yeah, it's probably just me. That's fine.
But
it's fine.
How many times, I wonder, have we done this in Mandalorian and we're going to do it in this, where we go, oh, that could be. I wonder if that was.
Probably an absolute ton.
I think there was one in Mandalorian that we both said, I wonder if that is... No, it can't be.
Could be. No. It could be.
Maybe.
It won't be. Yeah. Yeah. Who's going to show up at the end? Could it be Luke? No. Yes, it was.
Don't be stupid. Luke's not going to... Oh, my God.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Very polite. My actual reaction was far more expletive. But yeah, so the Jawas...
recordings.
Yeah, the Jawas, I remember. Yeah. The Jawas show up, steal his armor. So again, we're tying in the kind of information we know. The Jawas did steal his armor and then, cart around it, and then eventually the sheriff or the marshal of that, that town got a hold of it from the Jawas. So that happens, and he's left for dead. He kind of wakes up a bit, and one of them just knocks him out. Yeah, Fruitini, bang, out he goes. Next up, I mean, he's not having a good run, by the way. He's just run into Luke Skywalker. He's got his ass handed to him. He's been thrown into the Sarlacc pit. He's fought his way out of the Sarlacc pit, got robbed by the Jawas and knocked out. He kind of comes to after that, and the Sand people have taken him as a slave. I mean,
it's going from bad to worse,
isn't it? Yeah, but Boba's not having a good time right now. And he's taken with the Sand people, and he's dragged off. I mean, one of the things that I think they did great in this is he's being dragged, and you kind of see his skin just burning, like the sort of showing that he's out in the sun for a good while, like a day or a couple of days, and he's crisping, it's awful, really. And
it does, it looks horrible. Like first his skin goes all white, and then it's horrible.
Yeah, and he's watched it the second time with my daughter, and my daughter went, surely if you're that tired, you don't try and keep walking, you just sit down and let him drag you on your butt. And then he collapses with exhaustion, he's out, and he's being dragged. She's like, yeah, or that. I was like, yeah, he's kind of passed out.
At the same time, you realise that that's not beach, calm, lovely sand.
No,
that's sand, rock, gravel.
Red hot fire sand, basically. You can understand why Anakin really hates this place. Hates sand with a vengeance. So he's taken there, and he's held in this camp, and he's tied to the stake, and he's kind of gets his strength back enough on one night where he's going to try and escape. And there's another prisoner there, and there's like a guard dog. I'm going to call it a guard dog. It's basically a Sand People creature.
Yeah, I mean, that's not something you're going to go and get from a pet shop, is it? That thing's terrifying.
That thing is terrifying. I do want to say as well, and I think this is something that, again, it's probably our age, and our age is that of the original trilogies. The Mandalorian did this, the Book of Boba Fett's doing this. It feels like the original films. Like, the creatures aren't CGI. Do you know what I mean? Or even if they are, it's kind of... They look and feel like they're there. It doesn't...
Yes, CGI has moved on so far that they can now do this, and we can be like, that's a real creature.
Yeah, that is real.
It doesn't have fuzzy edges where the CGI is there.
No, and he takes it down. I mean, it's really funny because he basically chokes this thing out, but then strokes it like, go to sleep. Just
please stop hurting me.
Yeah, go to sleep, don't wake up and bite my arm off, go to sleep. I think even later on, the thing's growling at him. He's like, "No hard feelings, friend." He's like, "Yeah, I don't know, man. I think the thing's still pretty ticked at you."
Yeah, you still took that thing out. Yeah,
I think he's still pretty pissed. But the other prisoner alerts the guards, like goes crazy. Boba then just tries to make a break for it, but gets hunted down and gets his ass handed to him by one of the Sand People. I do want to point out one of the Sand People has a pretty badass staff at this point. But also we know that when Boba shows up in The Mandalorian, he has one of those. Because he smashes a load of stormtroopers with it.
Yes.
So you know, maybe that's kind of like a sign of respect. You know, maybe he earns that.
They let him go and he took one with them. Or he just took out the entire camp and said, that's mine. At this stage...
Which is the next thing I was going to come on to. With him, we don't know. Like, Mando, we'd feel pretty safe in saying he earned their respect. They gave him one and he walked away from it. And that's what we're going to see. With Boba, the guy's got a bit of a shady side to him. So... there is a very possibility that whole camp's just a burning pile of rubble somewhere, and he's walking around with that and like the testicles of the beast he killed. You know, like, yes, I keep it as a trophy.
Yeah. What do you have above your mantelpiece? You mean you don't have a head and balls of this thing?
Yeah, exactly, wimp. So he also there's like a kid, a child Sand person beating him, which is like, wow, this is really rubbing it in. And he drags him and the other one off to the desert to dig. Now, there's two parts of this. One is the digging for a type of something that's in the sand that has water in it.
It seems like it's some sort of like bulb of a plant or something.
Yeah,
like a seed pod or something that harvests water.
You got it, and there's water in it. So, I mean, that's kind of the
very
key
strange,
thing. Yeah,
but very Star Wars.
But very Star Wars. But the other aspect, before we come back to that, is that they come across a homestead that's being destroyed, and the people there are robbed, and it's being done by obviously a gang, like a criminal organisation, and they paint their kind of symbol on the house as they leave. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know how much of the Clone Wars animated series you've been able to watch yet. I know you're sort of working your way through them.
Yes.
But one of the things you learn a lot more about in the Clone Wars, and also in the movie, the Han Solo movie, is in the period in the galaxy, the Star Wars galaxy, there is a lot of organised crime. The Hutts are gangsters, and there's a lot of them, not just Jabba. There is a whole family, like a Godfather style thing.
I've met a couple of them in Clone Wars. Yeah. Yeah,
and then you've got the Pikes, which is a crime syndicate you learn all about. Crimson Dawn, which is a big one you learn about in the Han Solo film, because Crimson Dawn's basically being run by... you use your words, Sam. What's his name? Darth Maul.
Yeah.
And of course nobody knows that's who it is at that point. So these big crime syndicates are out there. Now we know also that, flash forward, the Empire's gone and Boba's walked in and taken over what was Jabba's domain.
Yeah.
So we do know all of these other crime syndicates are around. Boba's being dragged through the desert at this point, and he's seen one of them paint their symbol on a house like, this is ours now. You know, everyone bite me.
I did get a split second of, It's Luke's house. No, Stefan, they all look like that. It's Tatooine. They all look the same.
Weirdly, I had that moment as well. But it was funny because I know the timeline of this. I know that he has escaped the Sarlacc pit after Return of the Jedi. So this is 5 or so, 6, 7 years after Luke's Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru have been killed. And yet I'm still looking at this and I went, oh wow, is he witnessing their murder? No, of course he's not. I'm like, what? Of course he's not. No.
So, oh my god, it wasn't Stormtrooper. No, wait, it was. Yeah. No, it was.
I'm like over-analysing, clearly. I'm like watching everything with a kind of, maybe this links to this. No, it doesn't, you idiot.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I'm not alone with that.
No, you're not alone. I think I blame Marvel for that.
Yeah, probably. Especially now they've gone into their multiverse of madness. It's getting really crazy.
Yeah.
But so they drag this this kid drags these two guys to doing this, digging. There's a funny scene where Boba finds one, takes a drink, and a kid goes to smack him, and he catches it and just goes, "Easy, youngling. I'm just having a drink." I'm like, that is so menacing.
Look, I don't want to hurt you, kid.
Yeah,
but I will if I have to.
Yeah, but if you try and hit me with that stick again when I'm having a drink, I will brain you with it. How the guy as a prisoner is still the most menacing dude on the planet, I don't know. But anyway, the guy he's with is trying to find it, and he starts uncovering what looks like a scaly something. And I'm immediately like, dude, just stop. What are you doing? Dude.
If like, the ground has scales, it's not the ground.
Yeah, and he just keeps going, and I'm like,
has he not seen any other films? If you fly into a cave that's got teeth, get out, it's not a cave.
So can we clarify that Tatooine is a ridiculously scary, dangerous place?
Yeah, it's not a planet I would fly to anytime soon.
Because in The Mandalorian, there's a town that is literally being swallowed by a monstrous snake thing that comes through the sand.
Yes.
And they literally live on sand. So this thing can just arrive undetected, come up through the sand like a bloody thing out of Dune, and take away your whole town and vanish again. And you're like, oh, okay, well, I guess we'll rebuild. Oh no, Jeff. And then you've got this, where this guy's like digging for water and he unearths just a monster. What, was just kicking back in the sand?
He was just laying there not getting sunburnt.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah, he was there buried in the sand like, yeah, I'm not going to get sunburnt, I only hunt at night. What the hell is this? Someone is literally scratching my back right now. So this monster comes up out of the sand, he rips, I mean, he kills the other guy, I think. Just terrible.
I mean, the other guy, to be fair, had it coming, he was being a bit
Big time needed. Because Boba tests him as well, which is quite funny. Because Boba's talking to him and he's acting like he doesn't understand him. So Boba says, maybe I'll just take that and kill you with it. And the guy's like, whoa! And Boba's like, so you do understand. Yeah, like, you do understand me, you jackass.
Yeah.
But yeah, so obviously the inevitable happens. Boba, using his chains that he's been in chain with, takes down the monster full on.
Now, I'm not the only one that saw a link to a Return of the Jedi here, am I?
Yeah, I was about to say. I mean, you're seeing the synergy here of Return of the Jedi, Leia chokes out Jabba the Hutt.
And no offence to Boba, but I think Leia looked a little bit better doing it.
Well, I just want to point out that I'm delighted that although one hell of a hunk of a man who plays Boba Fett, I'm delighted I didn't see him in the gold bikini choking out a monster.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, that sounded really filthy.
Yeah, no, stop that one. Yeah.
Yeah, Princess Leia in a gold bikini choking my monster? No, wait, no. This is getting worse. Move on, Sam. Move on. Yeah, and clip and reported. And this podcast just became an X-rated version.
So, no disrespect to the Return of the Jedi. Leia struggles a little bit, but not massively, against a big thing like Jabba.
Yeah.
We see Boba really struggling with this thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's more... I don't want to say realistic because he's fighting a big monster that's come out the sand.
No, I know what you mean.
But you know what I mean. Like, he does struggle with it. It's not an easy... dead.
I do think that is a symptom a little bit of movie making compared to TV. Because they are making this series, which is, in essence... I think the episodes are 30, 40 minutes long, and you're making so many of them. So in essence, you're making a film split into chapters, but it's like a 3-4 hour movie. Whereas when you're trying to create a Star Wars movie, you're trying to keep it around the magic 2-hour mark, aren't you? You know, this kind of... Yeah, and if you've got a scene and you're trying to keep... When you've got a film and it's an action scene, you've got to try and keep the tempo up. You struggle to keep the tempo up with a realistic kind of... You know,
if you're taking 3
it's like
minutes
10 minutes of her like, come on. So yeah, I think, although you're right. You know,
I've now got images in my head of Princess Leia, just like, will you die?
Yeah. I mean, her trying to choke the monster. No, stop. See, I can't get it out of my head now. But Boba does take the thing down, beheads it. Now, what were your thoughts when... So, Boba and this kid return to the Sand People camp, and the kid runs in with the monster's head all celebrating. Everyone's like, oh, wow, look, you killed a big monster. Well done. I was like, that little shit is telling them all we did it.
Yeah, look what I did. Look what I did. And Boba's just there like...
Yeah, it doesn't have a clue. I mean, the kid could have been, and we don't know. But he was like, look. But then we get this brilliant scene where... Boba's there, he's unchained, and basically the tribe leader who had his ass kicked a couple of days ago walks over to Boba, just hands him a drink. Like, we don't need to speak the same language for you to understand this is respect. Thank you. So clearly the kid must have said, look, I got the head of a monster, and someone said, wow, you killed it? No, that guy did. You think I went near this thing?
Yeah,
no, that guy did it before I got my ass handed to me. Loved it, absolutely. That whole, because like you said at the start, that whole aspect of telling that part of the story is huge, because even if they don't tell us anything else in flashback, and I think we will get snippets, but even if they don't, we now completely understand how Boba went from being thrown off that thing in Return of the Jedi into a pit with a monster to showing up in The Mandalorian. Like, we don't need anything else.
Yeah.
I think we will get snippets because I think they've got a little story they want to weave in, but we don't need it. Like that was perfect. The first episode told us everything we needed to know.
Yeah.
Now, bringing us up to date then, like you said, we kind of expected it literally to be like him sat on the throne to kick off with. We do have a scene with him sat on the throne and people are coming to pay tribute. So again, this is very crime lord.
There's a couple of lines in this I absolutely love.
Amazing. I mean, the first one where the guy's talking and he leaves and Boba goes, did you get any of that? And Fennec's like something about respect. I don't know.
Yeah. The next guy walks in like, that's weird. I used to work for him.
Yeah, I know. That was great. It's going to be weirder for him, she said. But he also says we need a protocol droid, which is a fun throwback to the fact that Jabba took C-3PO as a protocol droid because he needed one.
Yeah.
So that was kind of funny. Oh, we need a protocol droid. But yeah, like you said.
C-3PO. Yes, he's back!
See, I don't know. I hate C-3PO. So I'd have that guy smashed. But yeah, so he comes in. And we have that sort of funny, used to work for him. But then we get the guy from the mayor. Now, this to me was just like, this is going to open up a problem and it's going to be fun. So basically, he's expecting the mayor to come and pay tribute because he's the crime lord. And he even turns to Fennec like, he understands that I'm the crime boss, right?
Yeah. Shall I kill him? He works for the mayor. So is that a no?
Yeah,
yes, that's a no.
One of the things me and you talk about a lot on shows is the dynamic and the chemistry between characters. Yeah. I think from minute one in this, the chemistry between Boba and Fennec is going to be gold.
Yes.
Because the little interactions then of like, because he's obviously got an idea in his mind of like, I'm not going to rule, Jabba ruled with fear, I'm going to rule with respect. And he's kind of got that in his mind that those two guards, like, you were loyal to your former masters. If I release you, will you be loyal to me? And they both take a knee straight away. And Fennec's like, no, it's a bad idea. You want to send a message to everyone like that you're in charge. But he's trying to be different. He's trying to be like, no, this is how I want to run things.
A fun fact about those two that I actually read as well, the two guards that he takes on.
Yeah.
So obviously we see them originally in the last films because Jabba used to use people like that anyway, didn't he?
Yeah.
The reason they are topless in this now is because that is how George Lucas originally planned them to be.
Yeah.
But they didn't have the correct ability with prosthetics at the time, so therefore they put them in armour
Oh, okay.
So this is actually meant to be a nod towards George Lucas's original designs for them.
Love that. Excellent. I'm a big fan of that. Yeah. I always love stuff like that. But these two guys... So there's a scene later on where Boba does get ambushed, and these two guys aren't there initially. I genuinely thought they'd screwed him over.
Yeah.
Like, he leaves this building, and he's like all sort of like walking with Fennec, and I'm like, where are the green guys? I know they were there because the woman offered to have them hosed down, which I laughed about. Would you like me to have them hosed down and, you know, given a drink or something? He's like, no, they're fine.
Yeah, would you like them hosed down and fed?
Yeah. and then so he leaves and they're not there. I'm like, those treacherous bastards. But then they come good. So I was over the moon with that. I had this image.
So happy if they're like his bodyguards the whole way through.
Yeah, definitely.
Those things are awesome.
I want them to be like Billy Bob and Ray Ray as well. I want them to have really back-asswards names. But anyway, so we do have this scene with the mayor's thing, and the mayor's kind of assistant or whatever basically asks Boba to pay tribute to the mayor. So the mayor is trying to make a power move.
Yeah.
And Fennec's like, our tribute is we're letting you leave with your life. And the guy's like, well, I appreciate that. I don't think he will. But, and I dare say you're going to be getting another group of people coming to see you soon. So it was a bit of a threat. Do you think that threat ties straight into the ambush? Or do you think, again, this is somebody else making a power play?
You don't know. Like we said, like already, like there are so many different
factions,
and crimes and everything there. This could be anyone who's just like, I like that throne. That throne's my throne. I don't want you having it.
I think this series is going to be a constant kind of who's attacking me this week. You know, Mando.
Could be, yeah.
The Mandalorian series was basically, I need to get from A to B, and I need this to get to B. What do I have to do to get it? And that was the premise every week.
E, F, G, and H at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. So I've got to get from A to B. So to get there, I've got to do this. Right, okay, fine. Okay, I'm at B now. I need to get to C. Right, to get to C, I need to do this. Fine. With this, I kind of feel like every week's going to be, who's attacking me now?
Yeah, well, there's another one.
Yeah. Yeah, I've now done an enemies list, and it's bigger than the friends list. So we have that scene. The guy leaves. We then see him go into town. He goes in and he visits a few of the idea is to visit a few of the businesses, show his face, let them know who's in charge now. Yep. Fennec makes a big deal about the fact that, you know, Jabba used to get carried in. You know, he used to be, like, paraded through the town.
Yes!
People knew Jabba was in charge because of that. And Boba's like, no, I'm not some big-ass, fat, bloody, you know, lord. I'm walking on my own 2 feet. I want people to know I'm in charge, but I'm also ready to throw down if need be. The first business they go into... very receptive. The woman takes their helmets away to clean them and basically brings them back full of money, which was kind of a nice little thing. And Fennec comments, "I think your helmet's cleaner than mine."
That's it. I think yours is shinier than mine. Yeah,
absolutely full. But yeah, so the meeting goes well. Now, is it just me and my kind of untrusting nature with TV shows that, of course, it could be her who's organised the ambush? You know, like, she's all smiles and lovely, and then, like, they leave and she's like, kill them.
Here, take all of my money. We'll have it back in a minute. Yeah,
exactly. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like, crazy. But they do leave there. They do get ambushed. I do have a slight thing with the ambush, and I really hope you can tell me a reason why I'm wrong.
Okay.
Why didn't you use this jetpack?
Yeah. I was sat there thinking the same thing. Like, he's surely just the two of them are just going to like poof up and away.
They got him ambushed with these shields to close him in, and they can't get out. And he tries to lift Fennec over. She can't get out. They try and break free to get out, and they eventually only manage to break out by the green guys showing up and attacking the others from behind.
Yeah.
So he's got a jetpack. I mean, if in the next episode we learn it's faulty, cool.
I'm going to have a little look back and see, because now I'm like, was he even wearing his jetpack at the time?
Yeah, he was, because he launched a rocket from it. So,
of course, it was a strange one, because you would think it'd be a case of just, nope, okay,
well, that's it. You know,
with this.
I mean, he could grab Fennec and literally just straight up onto a building nearby and then rinse them from height.
Yeah.
But yeah, we also then got what can only be described as a parkour scene. Where Fennec chases two of them down as they try to escape. I did love Boba, like, Fennec, alive!
Yeah.
Like, I want information, don't just go and kill him.
And I love the fact that when she catches up to them, she's like, nah, there's two of you up, he only wants one.
I know, that was it, yeah, I love that. Because there's something about Fennec being a master assassin, he described it. There's something about Fennec being a stone-cold killer, which is going to make this very funny. I think, it's like, shall I kill him? He works for the mayor. Is that a no?
Yeah, it's a no. Yeah.
You're going to really need to be specific with me, because otherwise I'm going to shoot the guy in the face.
Yeah, I feel like they're both, like, different sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
They both want the same things, but whereas he's trying to be at the moment, no, don't kill people, I'm not going to rule with fear. She's like, yeah, but if you let me kill a couple of people, it might, get a bit more respect.
Yeah. I mean, she basically says that to her, doesn't it? Like, well, fear's very useful, Maybe after getting attacked and getting hurt, because the green guys have to go put him back in the pod again, so he's obviously got hurt. Maybe that'll make him think twice about killing a few. I don't know, but overall, I mean, I love the episode. The episode kind of ends there where she's taken one hostage. So hopefully in the next episode we will learn
the torture, not torture, interrogation. It'd be interrogation.
Yeah.
If she gets her way, it's torture. If he gets
if she gets her way, this guy's having a bad day, a really bad day. By the way, the robot they got there, who was like all up for torturing the green guys, like their screams will fill the hall. Like, no, easy murder bot, easy.
It's like someone's changed the CPU in C-3PO.
Yeah, like someone needs to have a chat with that guy. What the hell?
Yeah. Sorry, someone put the wrong hard drive in. Sorry, wait a minute. Passive.
I think for me, the key thing I had to say to myself going into it is this isn't the Mandalorian. The Mandalorian I fell in love with from episode 1 and just continued to be in love with throughout the whole show. And it was phenomenal. And I had to say that to myself because I know me, I know human nature, but I know me, and I know going into it my expectations were through the roof. So I had to go into it and kind of go, this isn't the Mandalorian, this is something new, so I have to give it that same chance. I have to give it that same, what is this? And see if I enjoy it. And I did. I really enjoyed it. And I hope it continues in the same way. And I hope that we get to see a lot of the fun Star Wars links to, like, this organised crime thing is like a... that isn't in the films. That isn't a big thing. But like I said, in the Clone Wars animated series, it comes into it. It was something that was a big part of the novel series, the books. Yep. And it was a big part of the Han Solo movie. So it's going to be fun. Yeah. I really think it's going to be fun.
Do you think we're going to have any little cameos appear, do you reckon?
There's rumours of I mean, I personally did think we'd see Mando. I did think we'd see the Mandalorian show up because, let's face it, if Boba's in trouble, Mando surely owes him one.
You'd feel like he's going to pop in and,
You'd feel like if Boba's in trouble and he wants to call in someone to help, Mando would be on that list.
Yeah.
But
I feel like Luke's probably not.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think we'll see that cameo.
One of the big things is, like, people want to talk about is, like, what is... obviously, you can just dwell on the organised crime side of it, and the stories from that could be fun. But one of the things with The Mandalorian was obviously Grogu, which is the ongoing story of him trying to get Grogu back. Yes. So what is going to be the sort of ongoing story for the Book of Boba Fett? And the big theory, if you like, is that Mace Windu is still alive. And
of course,
Boba
we were expecting to find him in Mando,
quite possibly, yeah. And if he is still alive, then Boba will want to kill him. Because, of course, he killed Boba's father, and Boba in the Clone Wars, for example, as a youngling, tries to kill him constantly. Yeah. He infiltrates the clone troopers to try and kill him. There is constant stuff, a story to this. And Boba Fett, if he finds out he's alive or even suspects it, you've got to believe that he is going to try and go after him.
Yes.
So a lot of people would love that. A lot of people would love just, even if it's a dangled carrot of he thinks he might be, so he's going to look into it. Even if he never is. Because, of course, one of the things that a lot of people have pointed out is Samuel L. Jackson is under a Disney contract with Marvel Studios.
Yes.
Marvel Studios currently filming a lot of their series in the same studio lot as where they built the soundstage to film The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
If anyone's seen the released images of Nick Fury for Secret Invasion, you stick a Jedi cloak on that guy and you could easily believe it is a older, battered, and so like everyone's like, you could literally have him walk from one set to the other, and just, it could have been so easy to do and no one would know. Like, no, you could keep that under wraps.
Excuse me, Mr. Feige, yep, can we just borrow... borrow him for 5 minutes, please? Well,
this is where it gets even more interesting, of course, because Kevin Feige has been working with Lucasfilm on a project.
Yes.
So,
and it's Jon Favreau, who is Happy Hogan.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
so
all very well linked at the moment.
That's why the theory exists. I think everyone's gone 1 and 1 equals Mace Windu. But we'll have to wait and see. But I'm really looking forward to the next episode. Like I said, an episode will drop every Wednesday. We'll record and get our show out as soon as possible after that. I think we're going to try and get it out by the Friday. This one's obviously a little bit later, but I hope everyone's enjoyed our recap, our chat. If you spotted anything in the episode or you want to chat about any other aspect, do get in touch with us. You can email either of us. It's Sam at or Stefan at stuffandthangspodcast.com. You can reach us via the Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, all of that fun stuff. And our TikTok account's about to get very active. We're going to be doing theories for all the shows we talk about, at least one a day. Our YouTube channel is going to be getting busier this year as well, as we do a kind of news roundup for the shows we talk about in terms of season renewals, actors, things like that. So yeah, it's going to be a busy year for the Stuff and Things podcast.
Onwards and upwards, my friend. Onwards and upwards.
Onwards and upwards, indeed. But anyway, thank you everybody for listening. I hope you've enjoyed our talk about the Book of Boba Fett. We'll be back next week. You all take care.
That's a wrap.
Thank you for listening to the Stuff and Things podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show. You can find us on Facebook or online. Simply search the Stuff and Things podcast to join in our conversation every week.